Hi. So meditation is a wonderful technique for helping you to feel calmer and more relaxed. But there are other techniques that can do this as well. And especially for people who find meditating really difficult, this technique that I'm introducing you to now can be much easier and more effective. And research has shown that emotional freedom techniques, also known as EFT or tapping, can lower cortisol levels and adrenaline levels in after just 5 minutes. And those are two of the key stress hormones. Also, live blood cell analysis has shown that just a little bit of EFT or tapping can increase the mobility of blood cells in just a very short space of time. But of course, the real proof of it is whether or not it works for you. So I'll just explain a little bit more about it, and then we're going to do it so that you can do it together, so that you can experience it and see what it does for you. It's actually based on acupuncture, the Chinese energy meridians. So it's sort of Eastern medicine meeting Western psychology. What Eastern medicine says is that when we don't feel good, it's because there's a blockage in our energy system. And tapping on certain parts of the body or inserting needles can clear that blockage in the energy system. So what we actually do with it is we focus on what is causing a problem and tap on certain parts of the body, and that clears the blockage and therefore clears the problem. So the problem can be a physical health problem such as blood pressure or allergies, food sensitivities, or it can be a mental emotional problem. EFT works really well with anxiety, with phobias like the fear of flying, depression, isolation, all sorts of issues. Basically what it is doing is bringing the body back into a state of balance and harmony. When we lower our stress levels, we lower that fight-flight response effect, which affects all the various systems in our body. And so it brings us back into greater harmony. So usually what we do with EFT is as I say, we pick a problem and we focus on that specific problem while we're doing some tapping. But I'd like to start with just a much simpler version of that, just to give you a bit of a taste of it in its most simple form. So first of all, I'll show you what the tapping positions are. And the very first position is the edge of your hand. If you are going to do a karate chop, that edge of your hand there that would be hitting the brick. Now you're tapping on it anywhere between the base of the little finger and the heel of your hand, and you're tapping with the tips of your fingers, with the flat of your fingers, with the palm of your hand. You can be tapping both hands together, so you get that position on both hands. You can tap with your knuckles. It really doesn't matter. You can tap on the edge of a table. This position is known as the psychological reversal point. It helps us to reverse our thinking. I'll talk more about that later in another recording. Now, it doesn't matter which hand you tap on. It doesn't matter how you tap it, as I said, but you're aiming to tap between 5 and 10 times, roughly. This is a very forgiving system. You can't get it wrong, but you're tapping roughly 5 to 10 times. You can tap quite fast, and you tap hard enough so you can feel it, but obviously not hard enough so that it hurts. If you think about it, you'll realise that all the different tapping positions are on bony parts of your body, so it's setting up a vibration through that bony area which helps to enhance its effectiveness. The next position is tapping on top of your head. Again, you can tap with either hand. Some people like to tap in a circle or back and forth. This is forgiving. Don't get caught up in how do I get it right. The next position is the very beginning of your eyebrow, right there in that corner. I like to tap it there with 2 fingers, then you get fairly good coverage of it. And then you follow that bone around to the bone just in front of your temple, and you're tapping in that bone there. Then the next position, you're sliding along that bone under your eye, and you tap under your eye in the center there. This position is a bit more sensitive for some people, so don't go bruising yourself. Then the next position is under your nose, or you can tap sideways like that under your nose, especially if you've got long fingernails. Then in the hollow under your lips, and then under your collarbone, these 2 knobbly bones, just going down an inch or 2, what's that, 3 or 4 centimetres, and sort of 20 past 4, so out to the side just a little bit. And then the last position is under your arm, like that, bra strap level for women, nipple level for men. Or the other way that you can do it, instead of crossing your arm over your body, is you can sort of make a duck swing and tap in that way. Okay, so those are the positions. What I'd like to do now is give you a taste of it, and let's do some tapping together. But before we start with tapping, because the change can be so quick, we can sometimes sort of not realise quite what's happened, and think, oh yeah, this is how I felt before. So it's really valuable to tune in beforehand and give what we call a SUDS score to how you're feeling, and then tune in again afterwards and see how you're feeling. So just gently close your eyes or look down and just notice how your body is feeling, whether there's any tension anywhere in your body, any pressure, any heaviness, any pain or aches or tingling. Just notice how your body feels. Notice your rate of breathing. You might notice your heart rate. And also notice how you feel emotionally. You're feeling a bit stressed or a bit frustrated, maybe a bit sad or a bit hurt. And then I'd like you to give a score to that as to the level of your discomfort from 0 to 10. So if you're feeling fabulous, couldn't feel better, then 0. There's no stress, there's no tension, there's no discomfort. If you're feeling really, really tense and antsy and just not feeling it good at all, that sort of holding on by your fingernails feeling, then your score might be up close to a 10. Right? So if you're feeling really, really good, your score will be really low on your level of tension and stress and discomfort. If you're feeling really, really uncomfortable, stressed out, then your score will be higher. Don't think about it too hard. What's likely to happen is that fairly quickly a number will pop into your head. Don't try and get it perfect, just a bit of a guess. Just think of it as, this is just a bit of a game. It's not serious. We don't have to get it right. Okay, you might want to write that number down, is your score out of 10. And now we're just going to do some tapping. Okay, and we'll do it with 2 hands because we can. And so starting by tapping that side of your hand, that point there, the karate chop point or the edge of your hand, just tapping there. Now tapping the top of your head. Now the beginning of your eyebrow. Now the bone on the side of your eye. Now the bone under your eye, under your nose, under your lips in that hollow, under your collarbone, and under your arms. Let's do 2 more rounds. Side of hand, top of head, beginning of eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, under nose, under lips, under collarbone, under arm. And let's just do 1 more round, side of hand, top of head, beginning of eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, under nose, under lips, under collarbone, and under arm. All that way. Okay, just give your arms a bit of a shake and relax them, and just take a deep breath or 2. And another one. And of course, taking slow, deep breaths is a really good way of relaxing our body. How tapping works seems to vary from person to person. So for some people, while they're tapping, they'll notice they start to feel better. For other people, by the time they've finished tapping, they're noticing they're feeling better. For other people, it can take a minute or 2 after they stop tapping to feel any effect at all. So that's one of the reasons why we take a couple of deep breaths. It also helps to integrate. What the tapping is doing is it's balancing our nervous system. It's getting those that energy moving through those energy meridians that were blocked. I think of them as being like 12 hoses that go through our body, and they've got a bit of a kink in them. We're unblocking that kink, and so taking a couple of deep breaths just also creates time for the energy that's able to move again, to integrate, to find its place, and just for your system to settle down, as well as the actual breathing, also helping with that relaxation response. So me rabbiting on about that has created some time for some balancing and integrating to take place for you, depending where you are on that spectrum of how rapidly it does integrate. So now I'd like you to close your eyes again and tune into your body, and just notice how your body feels now. Notice if there are any differences. Notice if it feels any lighter or heavier, softer or tighter, etc. And notice how you feel emotionally. And give a score to that. You might find that it feels the same as it felt before. It might feel better, or it might feel worse. And write down your score. Now, sometimes the score goes up. That's more likely to happen when we're using words, where we get more in touch with what's not feeling good, and so what's not feeling good may actually be bigger than we realised, and so it sort of comes to the surface a bit, and if you keep tapping it goes. Or may be that, but that's more likely to happen when we use words, which we'll do next time. Or it may simply be that in getting touch with your body and doing the tapping, you're really starting to notice, how it feels more, because we really learn to dissociate from how our body's feeling. And again, if you just keep tapping, it's you'll start to notice an improvement. Hopefully, you've already feeling a bit lighter, a bit clearer. For some people, they feel more relaxed. For others, they feel more energized, because what it does by clearing that blockage is it invites our body to, or it gives our body freer flowing energy to use it however it needs it. And so for some people, they can suddenly feel quite tired. And what that probably means is that you've been running on adrenaline, and now that that's relaxing, the adrenaline levels have gone down. It's not good for us to be having racing adrenaline. The tiredness that's underneath that adrenaline becomes apparent, and your body says, oh, thank God you're letting me relax a bit now. So, yeah, just be aware that whatever your score is, it's entirely normal, because anything can happen. A lot of people can get a very quick response from doing a couple of rounds like that, but some people don't. Let's do another couple of rounds now that we've had a little bit of a pause, given that time to integrate, and see where you're at with it then. So again, side of hand, top of head, beginning of eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, under nose, under lips, under collarbone, under arms, side of hand. Just do it one hand this time, top of head, beginning of eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, under nose, under lips, under collarbone, and under arm. Let's do one last round with the other hand, okay? So, side of hand, top of head, beginning of eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, under nose, under lips, under collarbone, and under arm. Okay, deep breath again. And another deep breath. You may find after a bit of tapping, or while you're tapping, that, and this is what's happening for me at the moment, that you burp a bit, or that you yawn. And these are both signs of energy moving, energy releasing, energy that's causing blockages, blocked emotional energy, for example, blocked energies generally. That's being able to flow more freely now. And that creates space for you to feel better because of those blockages being gone. We all want to feel good, and we want to just go straight to feeling good, but so often one of the basic principles is that we need to clear what's stopping us from feeling good, and then the feeling good comes in much more naturally and easily. Then we feel more at peace, we feel more confident, we feel happier, we feel more alive. So it's getting out of the way what's stopping that, because our natural state is a state of joy and love and peace and abundance. So clearing what's stopping that, we can start to feel better. So noticing again, what would your score be now? hopefully it's come down. Ideally, we like to get the score down to about a 2 out of 10. At 2 out of 10, it's, it's hardly there, and it can often just sort of drop away the rest of the way from there. If it's higher than that, just do another round or two and see how that feels. It may be that we need to do some tapping where we're getting a little bit more specific about the problem to help to clear it further. But even if your score just comes down from a 7 to a 6, you're a different person because of it. And as you get more used to doing this, and your body gets more used to, oh, she's tapping, it starts to almost relax all by itself. Now, you can use this in any situation. I think the biggest problem with tapping is remembering to tap. It's that simple, to think of it. So you pull up at work, you're feeling stressed, do a couple of rounds in the car before you go into work, even if your score only comes down 1 or 2. That's a shift. If you're getting stressed out at work, duck into the bathroom and do a couple of rounds of tapping so that you feel better. Or in a meeting, you're getting stressed, duck out to the loo, do a couple of rounds of tapping. Getting stressed out by the children, get them tapping with you. Actually, children love tapping because they're more attuned to their bodies often than we are as adults. They notice the difference much more readily often. Anyway, I'm going to talk more about tapping in subsequent recordings, so I hope you'll join me. If you've got any questions, please put them in the Facebook page and I'll respond. Happy tapping. Bye for now.